Hello and welcome back to Will It Work. Today we're going to take a look at the Atari VCS console and see if we can get it to play games from a floppy disk. Now this console came out in 2001 and has not done very well. In fact, about a week ago, Atari decided to blow them out for $79. So I picked one up. I figured it was good for at least a couple of videos. This is PC based, it's architecture. You can put Windows on it or a full-blown Linux desktop. But we won't be dealing with that today in regards to playing games from floppy disks, just the built-in Atari OS, which is a streamlined, highly customized version of Linux. So a year or two ago, I had a video trying to get floppy disk drives and the Wii U working together. And what I found is the Wii U would not work with USB floppy drives. For one thing, it won't format anything lower than 32 megabytes. And the other thing is that there's no games in the eShop that are small enough to fit on a floppy disk drive. So what I did in that video was use the super disk format. They are an evolution of floppy disks and come in 120 and 240 megabytes. However, you need a special drive, there's special disks, so on and so on. I really wanted to do this with a standard USB floppy drive with a 1.4 megabyte disk. And I think with the Atari VCS we can do that because in its digital shop they sell games that will fit on a floppy disk. They sell Atari 2600 and Atari 7800 ROMs, which are just a few kilobytes. So you could put dozens of them on one floppy disk. So the only thing we need to worry about is whether or not the VCS will work with USB floppy drives and if they'll format a disk that small, because like the PlayStation, Xbox, and the Wii U, the VCS has to format these external disks and prepare them to store digital games on them. The only difference with the VCS is that it's not a proprietary file system. It's a Linux file system called ext4. So it's not proprietary, but it's still a process that has to happen. It has to be formatted into ext4 before you can store your digital games on it. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put in a PC formatted 1.4 megabyte floppy. And I'm going to go over to System. We'll take a look at the storage devices. Okay, so it sees the Sony USB floppy drive. That's good. Let's go over there and try to format it. Format complete. Still going. Okay, so it looks like the floppy disk drive is ready to go. So I'm going to go into my internal memory here and let's grab a 2600 game. Let's do Haunted House and let's move it to the floppy drive. Confirm. Looks like it's working just fine. So let's go up to the Games tab. And here you'll see the Haunted House 2600 game. And I'm going to eject this floppy. And then we will refresh the screen by going over to Apps and then back to Games. And as you can see, Haunted House is no longer there because I've ejected the floppy disk. I have another floppy disk here that I've already prepared, and I've put the 7800 ROM for Asteroids Deluxe on it. So let's go ahead and put that in now. I'll refresh the screen again, go back to games, and there's Asteroids Deluxe 7800. So let's fire it up, and it should access the drive again to run it. So there you have it. The Atari VCS can absolutely store its digital games on floppy disk, play those games from floppy disk, and you can even exchange floppy disks with different games on them without having to recycle the console. Very retro, very cool in my opinion. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. As always, if you're enjoying this channel, please like and subscribe. I'll be back soon, but that's all for now. Take care.